Good afternoon. Welcome back to Oneida Live here on the Oneida Nation Reservation in Wisconsin. So today is Tuesday, February 24th. I'm Bobby Webster. I'm the PR director for the Oneida Nation. And our guest today is the chairwoman of the Onʌyoteʔa niʔi committee, Taryn Webster. She's going to give us an update on some of the things that we're changing and what they've been expressing or experiencing over there in that committee. And I've got a list of questions that I'm going to go through with her. So as we go through these questions, I'll be watching to see if there's any other questions that pop up for us. So the first question is, how long has your committee been operating, Taryn?
We were appointed in the summer of 2024, and we started our first meeting in September of 2024, and we're about 9 months in right now.
Okay, can you remind us who's all on your committee?
Let's see, and I hope I don't forget anybody. So there's Kirsten Van Dyke, David Webster, Dwight Steffes, Gail Grisman, Judy Matoxen Springers, Marie Cornelius, Gudgy Danforth, Michelle King Hill, Anthony Conkle, Laura Manthe, Larry Roberts, Bill Cornelius, myself, and Secretary Liggins, and Councilman Jameson Wilson.
Oh,
Gail, I
right.
said Gail. It's hard trying to keep track of all of them. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that's all of them.
Good job.
All right. So what's the purpose of Onʌyoteʔa niʔi?
We've been approved by the GTC. I believe it was in 2023 to create a committee. So we've been approved to gather input information from our Oneida citizens regarding this hot topic, this blood quantum topic. Hold sessions within the community through online publications to gather their feedback, come back with some solutions pertaining to our enrollment criteria, our current enrollment criteria.
Good. So how were you selected?
I saw it through a publication, so I believe everybody saw it through publications. Applied for the position, went through a interview process with the business committee members, and then were selected through that process.
Okay. Now, since you've been here in meeting, it's been just this committee. There's no turnover or anything. You're still the original committee?
Yes, we did have, I think we did have another member who had to step away. I think their primary job was a little time consuming.
So what do you think has been your greatest accomplishment since the establishment of this committee?
I would say my personal opinion is our non-stipend GTC meeting we held last year. We had over 400 enrolled citizens attend that meeting and descendants attend that meeting. There was so much engagement. The setting was very different. It was more of a round setting versus the typical GTC where they sit up, on the big stage and talk to us. We sat together in a circle. We allowed for people to stand up and talk amongst themselves. It was very engaging. We got a lot of different perspectives, listened to a lot of different opinions, probably some solutions that we weren't typically looking for at that time. And we also held a history summit last summer that had a lot of participation that informed everybody of how Oneida came from the New York, how they came to this territory, how enrollment criteria, blood quantum was established, and how it affects us. Those are two accomplishments I can think of right off the top of my head.
Was the meeting run like a GTC meeting with Robert's rules?
We suspended Robert's rules, so we started as a normal GTC meeting. The council and officers were up on the stage like they normally are, and then we made a motion to suspend those rules, and then they came down on the floor and just sat amongst us, and it was like a community session.
So people came and there was no stipend. Were there people who maybe attended thinking there was going to be a stipend?
I'm sure there were.
Yeah. Did you have many people up and leave because they said, wait, there's no stipend here?
I don't believe so. From the perception, no, there wasn't. I'm sure people that did get up and leave, it was probably because it went on I think it went on a little over 2 hours.
Wow, that's good.
So if not getting paid and to sit there and be engaged for that long, I felt it was a major accomplishment for the committee.
So the Onʌyoteʔa is kind of at the core of it, sort of, is the blood quantum issue, which requires everybody to be registered with the enrollment department. Do you meet or have any discussions with the enrollment department?
So we're currently in the second phase of this project. When we started the committee back in September of 2024, there was some groundwork laid out for us, and there are 4 phases to this Oneïdaga niʔi project committee, and we're in the second phase of that. So we haven't met with enrollments, the department or the committee as of yet, but we are at the end of stages of phase 2, and then phase 3 will probably request some time with them. They're the ones that did all the legwork in the beginning to get us to where we are right now. That was their they have all the information. They've gathered all of that. That was their task in the beginning.
So from the time you've started, have you done any tracking of your participants? Do you know, some come all the time? Are the numbers growing? Are they cutting back? Is it consistent numbers that attend and are interested? Is it growing?
It is a consistent number of attendance, and it's typically the same people. We held, I think it's a total of 26 meetings since 2025, the beginning of 2025, and we've had over 1,000 participants, whether it was the same or
recurring.
Online. We've done some online sessions, but we've reached out to veterans, to the youth, and then like I said, descendants. So we've reached about 1,000 people through all our community sessions, and then along with the GTC, the non-GTC stipend meeting, and then the history summit, we're probably closer to about 1,600.
That sounds good. That's a good outreach, a good track record that you're building. What do you think is, in your mind, what do you think is the most common concern that you're hearing from these 26 meetings?
I would say a lot of people are concerned about the enrollment criteria moving forward, whether it's blood quantum or a different way that we're going to approach being Oneida, but it's how their children, their grandchildren will be affected. Some of their children and grandchildren today, they live within the reservation, they go to school, they attend cultural events, but they're not enrolled. So they live and breathe being Oneida, or but they're not recognized or enrolled as Oneida citizens.
So moving forward, you said you're going into another phase. What would you hope to see change or occur, or what are you looking for in the next 6 months?
I think we'd really like to see a lot more community citizen engagement. Like I said, we talked about the community sessions, 26 of them, reaching about 1,500, but we know that when we sit at regular GTC meetings, there's over 2,000 in attendance. We would like to get to that. That would be our goal, is to reach those masses, because this topic, it's going to affect every enrolled member, every descendant, and then, everybody who lives within the reservation.
So you've been gathering the information for quite some time. what do you think people want to see happen with this committee? What do they anticipate you're going to do for the Oneida Nation?
I think they're just looking for a solution again for their children and their grandchildren. But because this is such a sensitive subject and it's going to continue to be for years to come, solutions that we as a committee may come up with and present by 2027, when it comes to 2037, there may have to be different solutions at that time. I think it's a fluid. It's something that has to be fluid, that has to be looked at and worked on maybe every 5 to 10 years, because it'll continue to change throughout our lifetime.
So right now, what are the qualifications to be enrolled as an Oneida citizen?
Today you have to be you have to prove your leniency to and be at least 1/4 enrolled Oneida.
And what are the benefits of being Oneida enrolled?
I would say your identity is number one, and being indigenous. As an enrolled citizen, you have cultural, social, educational benefits provided to you. The health center, like I said, we have our own school, educational financing. There's a lot of other. Is it the CEC, like the education
Community
center?
Education
Community
Center. They just
Education
changed their
Center.
name. I don't remember what
Okay.
it is, but they
The
do
resource
have
center, there's, you can go there. Elder services, family youth services, there's so much that's provided to us here as an enrolled member.
Mm-hmm. And I think in a lot of those, as if you're in a household, that spills over. If you're an enrolled Oneida elder and you're married to a non-Oneida, that spills over to the entire household. If you get plumbing assistance, building assistance, weather assistance, things like that.
I believe if you are, if you work in the casino, I know that. And if you're a non-tribal member, you still have the benefits of the health center. So medical services, prescriptions. So they also take care of their employees. I call it team members.
So there's more than the Oneida Nation takes care of more than just its own citizens. So maybe not a benefit to just being Oneida, but a benefit to living in this community and being engaged and part of the Oneida. As you're saying, the Oneida workforce or the Oneida community, there's a lot of things that spill over. How many enrolled Oneidas do we have today?
We have a little. We just in our last meeting we had some numbers given to us, so we have a little over 17,000. I don't want to say 17,246, so I'm just going to say around a little over 17,000 enrolled members.
Do you have any idea how many descendants we have registered? I mean, there's more than are registered, but there's quite a few that registered for the.
I'm not. I know that we've asked that question in the past. I don't know if there's a definite number on the number of descendants.
Okay. As you move forward, gathering data and looking for solutions, perhaps outside the blood quantum definition, what do you expect, or when maybe do you expect to be able to present to the General Tribal Council some options?
Like I mentioned earlier, so we are in the looking for a date for our next non-stipend meeting, which would probably be hopefully within the next 90 days. And after that, after this final phase, the finalization of phase 2 with our community sessions, when we move into phase 3, hold that non-stipend meeting, and then we'll move into the solutions part of it, so that we can gather or review all the information that's been gathered, hopefully come up with some viable solutions to present to the GTC in 2027.
It's coming up fast.
It'll be here before
We're
we know
already
it.
to the end of the second month of 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you'd like to add that I didn't ask, maybe didn't address?
I just, again, I think we're looking for more engagement. We want to hear, from as many enrolled and descendants as we possibly can. It's going to affect everybody, whether it is, health services, education, the GWA payment. It's going to affect us,
Right.
depending on what the solution is, and then the future of Oneida citizens. But I do want to just remind everybody listening today, or if you're going to listen to the recording later, that we do have some upcoming meetings that are still planned with our community sessions. And on Thursday, February 26th, from 4:30 to 6:30, we have a virtual input, and that's on the website. So you can log into the website and gain access to the virtual session at 4:30. This coming Saturday, February 28th, at the Oneida Hotel, we have in-person meeting at 10 a.m. Descendants are also welcome. And then again, another meeting on Saturday the 28th at 1:30 at the hotel. Again, anyone is welcome to participate in those sessions as well.
One more in March.
One more in March, yes. We had some technical difficulties on one of our last virtual sessions, so we rescheduled that for Tuesday, March 10th, 6 p.m., and that'll be a virtual session that, again, you'll be able to go into the website and log on through the website.
All right. Perhaps at those meetings, I know there's a comment that it would be interesting and helpful to know the statistics. So I think people want to know where the breakdown is, and I know enrollments, and that may be their responsibility, have breakdown of age and on reservation, off reservation, over 55, under 18, and those kind of statistics. There's a lot to consider when we talk about the membership, the citizens of the Oneida Nation, who's qualified, who's not, where they are. And I think within the reservation, it's safe to say there's probably around 5,000 to 6,000 that live within the area of the reservation, which is maybe a third or less of the entire population.
We do have some of those statistics, age broken down. We also have within the counties, and then we enrollments did provide us with this information. We also have information across the country. We don't have outside of the U.S., but we have across the country. We have it broken down, the number of enrolled members that live throughout the United States as
Per
well.
state?
Mm-hmm. And the age groups of those as well.
Okay. Well, we'll have to look forward to seeing that information, maybe overheads at the next community meeting or the next General Tribal Council meeting. Okay, well, I have a few announcements here. Friday fish fries at the Holy Apostles Church began last week, and they'll continue every week throughout Lent. Also, there are some community input sessions for the budget. There's one at SEATS on March 3rd at 1 o'clock, and there's also one at the Oneida Hotel in the Tuscarora room on Monday, March 9th. And we have some flyers up for the one in Milwaukee and the one here in Oneida. Also, just reminding you to check our community calendar to see what's coming up. Our calendar lists a lot of upcoming events and dates. We're trying to get you driven to that community calendar more. A lot of things are happening, and sometimes we overlook or we forget things here on Oneida Live, so check it out. Tonight, the Land Commission Book Club has been canceled because of the weather. They had a book club meeting tonight, and they are canceling that. And there is another one scheduled for March 10th. So with that, I believe we've covered everything. Are the elders leaning ideas differ from the younger? Oh, I think they kind of want to know if the elders' opinions and ideas different from the younger people.
Oh, most definitely.
Definitely?
Yes, they do. The younger demographic has a different outlook on the future versus the elders. So there's a different, but we are gathering all that, and we'll bring that together because, you know, taking the elders' point of view, input, and then putting that together with the younger demographic. That'll be part of what we have to build on.
All right. That's all we have for today, and we'll see you Thursday. Yawʌक़ó, niʔi.